All right, it happened. The DCEU is over with Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, and wow, it's crazy. Like 10 years of mediocre movies from DC superhero stuff. But yeah, Aquaman 2. Okay, I think it was like fine. It was like fun. It wasn't funny. Patrick Wilson and Jason Momoa, I think they're fun enough to like bounce off of and like watch for a couple hours. Like the action is like really really good. James Wan, that's something he does really well. Like he directs great action that you can see that is really cool. He's good with these horror tension moments, and he makes things dramatic. Like the emotional parts like aren't good at all, and like there's no like emotional meat to hang on to. But I think it's fine, and visually like it's cool. But it's just hard. Like after Avatar: The Way of Water, that just like broke all other fantasy worlds. Like it's just not anything in comparison to like James Cameron's creative mind, and like that's okay. Like it's fine. I think Yahya Abdul Mateen II is good. He's menacing. He's physically imposing, and he's like too good for this movie. And but it was like dumb fun, and I had really low expectations going in, and I like thoroughly enjoyed it. I think, but tough. Like we're never gonna see any of these ever again. But I think something interesting struck me like while I was watching the movie. Like it felt like this could be a start of like a new underwater fantasy Fast and Furious type franchise, right? Like you can have like Orm and Arthur as like the two main contrasting guys. You have like Mira as the female lead, Nicole Kidman and the dad as like older like mentors, and like they can be more of like the emotional hearts of the movie. And then you have like that funny crab guy, and then Dolph Lundgren, and then Steven Shin could be like your sciencey guy. And like I could really like see a future where like they have this general core like of these characters, and then you bring in your random like superstar actor and actress, and I don't know, like there's such so many adventures that you can go on. Like we had so many different locations, right? We had that um Adventureland where like the green stuff was mutating the jungle. We had like the Necros Kingdom, we had like the Dry Fisherman Kingdom, and then of course like you have Atlantis, which there's so much to explore, right? And there's so many like worlds and fun like sci-fi, fantasy, like adventure things that you can do with the series. Like I thought it was like just like fun, and it's nothing original, but like it could be so much fun, easy cash grab probably. Um, and like you can see like the makings of like series staples where like James Wan loves to like do these like shock explosions that just kind of like interrupt conversations, and like that could be a fun thing. And then you have like all the different Jason Momoa isms and jokes and stuff like that. And um I don't know, I could see like a long runway for like these kind of adventure stories with different genres. Like the first one we had like a kingdom adventure with like some light rom-com in there, and like this one was more of a buddy cop like fantasy thing. And like there's already horror elements like thrown into all of these like movies because James Wan is like a horror director, and like you can have a more horror movie, and I think they were trying to do that with the Trench spin-off from the first movie. And like there's just so many like different genres that you could do. Like there's room with like these Atlantic kingdoms to do like a big political war, and like you could have one be a detective one, and like one be like a big mystery fantasy chase. There could be a murder mystery. Like there's so much that they could do. And honestly, I'm like I feel like kind of sad that like this won't ever continue, because like this was like dumb fun. And like I know that every universe now is trying to be this big connected thing with like all these epic crossovers and stuff. But um I don't know, I just like enjoyed the idea that this was just like an Aquaman movie. There's no DCEU anything crap, because like it just was ending, right? Like so there's no point of connecting anything. But it was like fun to have those standalone movies that are just dumb fun popcorn flicks, right? And unfortunately there's just like so many barriers, right? Like the underwater stuff is pretty expensive. I think the first movie was 150 million, and like this second movie cost 200 million, like with like the reshoots and stuff. But I do think there's ways where like if in another world where you're just trying to make this like a Fast and Furious type franchise, you just like cut the cost, like make the script like the fun dumb thing. Like it doesn't have to be anything crazy, but just do it and then shoot it once. And like you could do a lot more practical things and go on land more often with like the different fantasy worlds that they're going into, right? Like um but like also like this is not doing very well financially. Like the first one, Aquaman, the first one was did great because I think people love underwater stuff, but that was also because that was before Avatar: The Way of Water came out, and like now people are like less intrigued by the spectacle. And Jason Momoa, obviously I don't think he's a box office draw, which is tough. And like then there's like the idea like the DCU is dead, like James Gunn is gonna do his own thing. And of course like Amber Heard is a domestic abuser that people don't like, and it's tough. I think people are over it, but like I don't know. I was interested to see like what more it could have become. So kind of tough. But in an alternate world, like I would have loved to see this become a fun long series like Fast and Furious. So yeah, unfortunate, but maybe I don't know. Someday we'll see a what if of that.